at this point, Openimbiatnas is a true and industrious seedling of the soil. Makanesa no naches o Ghana ni people na oyubia one is wade hunu sadachi bi obedi ni mankai. He's seeking our mandate to ascend the reins of leadership, and he's seeking to become the next president of the republic. See, to 2020 abano was he in Kaino. Your friend Marek Kofi Gane. Now, this is a short bio. Marek Kofi Gane is a 2020 presidential aspirant and a highly sought after international development consultant and a chartered accountant. He has worked with development policy think tanks and diplomatic organizations such as Christian Aid, the Commonwealth Secretariat, International Alert, and more recently, Crown Agent. Marek Gane attended Qatar Secondary School. He studied professional accounting afterwards and graduated as a Chartered Certified Accountant, ACCA. He has a certificate in microfinance for development from the University of Greenwich. Marek Kofi Gane has managed a total over £600 million worth of development funds from OECD countries, serving more than 100 organizations spread across 25 developing countries, Ghana inclusive. He's also an elder and believes that Ghana is at a point where changing course, catching up with the world and positioning our youth in the global future is no more one of choice, but a call to duty for every Ghanaian. Such an astute politician and such an astute financial expert. Or say Yentu Abamano, no president in 2020. Meeting Edna Otudakon. At a very good point, then you also come in with your calls. But you are about Light TV, Jumedi.
So good morning.
Good morning. Jumedi needing the Oman Yidachi. Ye Hesi Bay Oman Ghana ye. And as part of Enono, Yaya Junise. Mo amopese ye to Moswaba, Namobe Ghana president, you know. Ye the Mubaba no Mako. No ma catch the Ghana for Ninti and Twabama. Ye who say Musisi can MPP in DC because Omunim say Semia Santini and Achimni and Metro MPP. Mia Igbeni and Nodna, Metro NDC. Ya such a advent suddenly a trim. This time we vote based on policies. A DNA bit in IMI. So my viewers and I, that is what we are saying.
Okay.
And you know, the NDC people are the MPP, different parties, or policies can convince them and shape them to vote for you. Yes, as you say, me power chow. A day and a who Ghana and Tia, or per se a 2 amount na Ghana man penny.
Well, yeah, good morning to yourself and the more viewers. No, and some of us say no, mommy and handle your manifesto.
Oh, okay.
And
wow.
we know
thank you
to you and the Light TV for
all right.
And I'm viewers.
Okay. And viewers and the American room.
I've been more your website so and
wow.
I'm going to me add download.
Yeah, quite beautiful.
And Ubisa said,
so that is it. Make sure so that at least they can pick no one who know what it looks like. Very beautiful. Okay. But
Ubisa said, then me who Ghana na I feel say I was seeing system. There are several things, my brother. And now who are youth a bit more school, 12 years, 13 years, almost free schooler. They are told say it's not in line with near industry. A problem. Not just say education has become useless. More business we're gonna have. Most of them say there's a lot of vindictiveness. Not just say we identify you as NDC and not MPP. Not just say you can't do business in a normal way. More war in the rural areas. If you are not in Accra, then you are not in the country because internet, ensure ISM. And there's so many things happening. We talk about corruption. We talk at it as if say just a small issue, but it's a small issue because things like corruption. Say catch investors, some Ghana ever invest here. Yes, nobody's going to show up because the 100,000 ever invest here. And I just say if I know say corruption will handle, or see me top it up to about 150,000 because. Or 250,000 in terms of bribes, and Tinima Brebre war it hasn't helped us. So share health system. In fact, we don't even have a health system. You're a funeral economy.
Asemba na aka nisa.
You're a funeral
economy. Health
system. We don't have a health system. Because when we were children, so who obituary on the wall, you can guess, sir, Papa na says, Mamino, there will be about 90 years, 80 years. Now, say who obituary, you can be sure that they will be in between 25 to 40.
Okay. Over to us, Bambesi viewers, I appreciate you. Now you who say niya can you the since and yes we see any answer. Me misa one kasano and for now free okasa bra musano so that at least we will know say you are one of us. Who free info?
Me free keta.
Okay.
Okay. I was growing up as me nana, my grandfather and I grew up as a fisherman. And yeah, me a fisherman.
Oh, you're a former fisherman.
Me a professional fisherman and kasanga.
Serious?
Aye. Even today I can still fish.
Which me you know?
Oh, are they?
Wow.
I mean, should I call Ketane, Voja area, Kejimu area, Muna, Eko, fish.
You know what the canoe no ne yina?
Yeah, canoe. Almost a year between the sea and the lagoon, and the course scene as a horn, yeah, not just say back to the lagoon. The lagoon on the and and use it boat. I just say call inside, but you walk around lagoon or your hono. Okay. It's easier to just get into the lagoon, midstream.
So now we can appreciate your story better.
And I'm a tough I mean, my grandmother a tough or Keta market every 3 days.
Tough or Keta market.
I'm a tough
we dey say be wash as say wa brepe.
Enti no nkofo hu mu say me share suit and I say me share we na omofo say me tough da me a fisherman da. Enti I come from a very humble background.
Yeah, your different program your friend wash as say maybe we'll get all those details when we come home. But now let us appreciate your story better because where the Kenya can near okay into my viewers and who say you are one of us and who the plight of Ghanaians. Okay, into Bacho to Asumai.
And to make about the health sector, no say Nyamano enkoye in our health sector. And let's say Uko hospital, just say Omar refer will say outside of the hospital. Now koye with diagnostic tests in Nyamana. And sana ubeba back into the hospital for doctor area review in Nyamana. That does not qualify to be called a health system. Okay. And one of the things I say, if you take our health sector, we have to equip our hospitals. We'll do hospital. So we'll do 40 years and you are right in the hospital. You should be able to be tested. Who says diabetes who say heart problem and I say prostrate and it's easy to deal with these problems if we are trying to be preventative.
Okay.
Senate is here no. Just say again, a big problem, and send over call hospital. And by the time you get to the hospital, it's become a life and death matter.
So we keep on massaging problems as and when they come.
And so we want to move to primary health care, a year preventative. Let's see the things that are happening before ABC. One of your team members, I think 4 weeks ago, and he fell sick. He fell sick. And now you thought it was malaria. It feels like malaria.
Okay.
Now I catch and say no. I deal with send on-call hospital, on-call test. It costs 3,000 Ghana cedis.
Test
to do a full test.
30 million old cedis.
Yes, a full test.
3,000. How many people can afford this?
Good. Any person I'm able to
have for those more.
And some you who say any malaria. Or high blood pressure, or hypertension in your money.
Hypertension, they can take 3,000 to this test.
But there be you have to be tested fully.
Before.
And someone who say, I had a problem, no one.
Okay.
I say, we need a problem. Now, you was seeing this who say, how many Ghanaians can afford that? Not just say, Ghana afford brain, and then how more food say malaria and how more. I say, we need how more. When in fact, there are bigger problems to be solved. And it can be prevented. And to say, and we don't have a health system to test and check some of these things as a preventive measure. People will be dying at 24 and 30 and 40. Between last year, November, this year, just this June year, I've lost about 4 friends, to very heart-related diseases. Enti nyama bebre mo a CN system which I may feel say NDC and MPP omo nsheda anye Juma Papa Biao in those areas.
Okay. On issue of health, because Honorable Odeshas here, you've made very beautiful point in your manifesto. The Ghanaian agenda under the proposed government of Marik Kofi Gane, investing in citizens and building a Ghana that works for all of us, not just a few. We are to manifesto no. But there's one point you made is good, but maybe says now kind of way. TGG near then.
TG, the Ghana government.
Okay. So the Ghana government.
Yes.
All right. The Ghana government commit to setting aside 50 million Ghana cedis over every 4-year period to be increased as economy recovers towards the funding of existing research facilities in respect of disease investigations as forecasted by the National Emergency Modeling Unit and for the development of related and other vaccines. So that, for instance, if somebody and a health facility and I say Minister of Health anticipate say David say COVID-19 and I'm council bar, we will solve it now. Yes,
and I be prepared.
Exactly, I be prepared. But you are talking about 50 million Ghana cedis in a 4-year period. Who could just can way?
Sasikano say or hadada. I'm trying to get a document I put together.
Okay, so in getting your document, I agree. Say one manage 600 million pounds fund, right?
Yeah.
But no, the manonisika. We every
4 years. Ubi sasa him fana beko konya sa sikano.
And they just on that policy.
I know. But sikano me share. If you look at just last year, 2019, report about from CDD. Eka said we spent or we wasted or we lost 9.5 billion cedis just in the area of corruption.
Okay.
Not just say if we have a government that wants to stamp out corruption, you automatically already have 9 billion available to spend in other areas. And to be busy say 56 million, it amounts to nothing compared to the money that has entered people's pocket. And this is not me saying it.
But you also talk of molecular biology research. That is 60 million Ghana cedis.
Right.
And
you see,
you also have a 50 million. You
correct.
say that is the TGG from year 4 to commence the commitment of 50 million annual cedis through regional pharmacies, hospitals, blah 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 blah. You also have here cost of interventions. Let me do that one quickly. Then you sum up.
That's the overall.
So fine. So the overall is 6.3 billion Ghana cedis only under health.
Yes.
You know we have so many sectors in this country.
No, but here's something you may not be aware of.
Okay.
We spend close to averagely between $2 billion and $3 billion every year in the health sector.
Okay.
And this economy is just about 70% of what we annually spend.
Okay.
So what we are saying is that we need to redirect your spending into areas that matter. See, I know a lot of the money we spend. I'm a chartered accountant at ACCA. I think about 4 or 5 years ago, ACCA every year research bill Ghana Han. And who say your health sector alone, the efficiency level say 20%. Not just say if we introduce 1 cedi into your and 100 cedis into your health sector, we would only get value for 20 cedis. Yes. And
every 100 cedis could be an or
we only
20
get
cedis
value for that 20 cedis. And the 80 cedis is in the wastage situation.
It's
done by ACCA.
Okay.
And it's there. It's in a public. It's in a public. Everybody can go and look at it. And I will say we have to cut down on your inefficiencies in our health sector. Just by cutting down on inefficiencies, not just say if with every $1 billion we spend, we will be reaping back about $800 million. And so there are different things that we can do to ensure that money is being used wisely. And so those things, those numbers you are seeing there,
so do you think say NPP and NDC have mismanaged the Ghanaian economy?
They have. Sure. say you can say okay, we see hospital, we say all the things are here in the health sector. No, it's supposed to amount to one thing and one thing only. Who call any country via the one area they judge health, whether it has been held a good health system for 50 years or 100 years, it is judged on one thing, which is are the people's life expectancy increasing? Because the health sector if you started this year, say you have an average of 63 years to live. No? By the time this year ends, it should have increased if your health sector is working.
Okay.
Around 2000, yeah, life expectancy was around, I think, roughly around 61 thereabout. Rwanda, life expectancy was about 50 something. And then your life expectancy is just still 64. Like I said, if you go on pension at 60, you have averagely about 44 years to live. Rwanda's life expectancy is now 67. And they have they have gone to a war and genocide and come back and beat us. And we are still spending between $1 billion and $3 billion every year on health. And what are they doing? And so those figures you see there, no,
okay, Paul Kagame, the Rwandan president, in 1994, there was a genocide there.
Yes.
In just 100 days, 800,000 people died.
That's correct.
And per history, it formed about 25% of their then population. And yet, Paul Kagame, they've come back and beat us. The question is, Paul Kagame,
discipline and planning. Discipline and planning.
You think Nanado is not disciplined?
Chief, and in Rwanda, you don't have one ambulance per constituency. You have about 3 or 4 ambulances, and they are hoping to get to 7.
In Rwanda?
Yes, in Rwanda. And now, call Rwanda on the streets, you won't find one garbage. So, not to talk about malaria, we've said we would make Accra, just Accra, and yet the whole of Ghana. We've said we'll make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. The other days, Miti said the Minister of Environment, Eka, said we are 87%, and I say 80% close to the mark. I want to Accra.
It's 4 years, Nindri. Because President said, I'll make Accra the cleanest city. If you haven't been able to do it in end,
3 years and 7, 8 months, what are you going to do in 4?
There can be a political miracle. Until say 4 years, until say 4 years, I'm not sure. Say that will be prejudice on your part.
No, it will not be prejudice.
No, but 4 years in same way.
If we haven't been able to keep or make Accra the cleanest city in Africa in 3 years and 8 months,
maybe it can happen in 7 months.
Oh, Master,
or the next 3 months.
Jesus Christ went to me, yes, a miracle.
Wow. Okay, and say new opportunity now. What will be your alternative policy plan
for health?
Yes, I best set Ghana on it because the earlier question was NPP and NDC are mismanaging Ghana now. What's it? I'm also making reference to Paul Kagame in Rwanda. So it means that there must be an alternative policy plan, and that hope is found in you. It may be say, my many viewers in who alternative policy plan a year better saying another day, a year better saying John Mahamadian. Put it on the floor.
First thing, my policy plans didn't know.
Yes, I'll come to the specifics.
Breaking the top level.
Yeah.
First thing, corruption.
Okay.
Because you see, say, it's like say, the bucket call pipe, jeans you, and you are pouring the water in a bucket. There are holes in the bucket. That is what corruption does. Like I said earlier, we've already, just last year in 2019 alone, we've lost about 9 billion cedis just from corruption.
Okay.
Let's imagine, that's just it, just because of that corruption, there are 2 areas in that document I will share. You could have funded it without any hassle, without any borrowing, without nothing. So corruption for me is one of the key things we want to deal with very, very critically. In fact, when I'm talking about corruption, I also like to talk about your financial sector,
the financial sweeping of
yes,
the banks.
We've spent over 20-something billion
in cleaning up.
For cleanup. Up to now, nobody has been jailed. And one of the key things I say we will do is to separate the fiduciary duties of the Bank of Ghana from its prudential duties. Yeah, to me, we can't have one institution that is the judge, the jury, the prosecutor, as the executioner. Every sensible country where there is a financial sector, there is a separation.
Bank of Ghana fiduciary powers.
Bank of Ghana
prudential powers.
Policies said financial sector say na also in terms of share. And also na a police for in the financial sector.
Okay.
Akwai say me na me ye share.
Share na nko yi a ontimi nche ne ho. Okay. But say Kofi Gane and itimi chia.
You have to separate them.
That's right.
There has to be a separate unit. We know say police for the entire financial sector. Can't Bank of Ghana because I did we see within the financial sector. There's a department within the financial sector I from BSD, Banking Supervision Department. They were supposed to be making sure on a year-by-year basis. Say all these Wako Yesika free bank account, these things are not happening. And today we see nobody has heard about what disciplinary action has been taken against Banking Supervision Department. If we said they are still part of Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
That is one area we want to do. So we want to deal with corruption on a number of levels. Ade Bakwa was saying here to deal with corruption and say affordable housing I was saying share. Proper affordable housing. I mean affordable housing but ministers don't to me afford these buildings now into top buildings and then rent out to citizens. That is not affordable housing. You're saying affordable housing and everybody who is a Ghanaian who is hard working able to me afford.
Ministers and also affordable housing.
Oh, senior, affordable housing your friends Saglem I rotting. What is the price they were quoting for it? It's way above what anybody
the average can afford.
And from reliable sources, I can't disclose that what I know is that a lot of ministers and MPs had put their name down to own some of those buildings.
Affordable housing, they must treat people for no more pay.
And I was saying who said, why is affordable housing? I didn't think it is necessary to deal with corruption because Ghana, if you we do best 40, 50 years. Now when we say Kafra only any building and I say any place only say after a friend say retirement you will get your own place to call a home. Master, people start getting the motivation to be corrupt.
Okay.
Because you need to hold on to something and sana call retirement. And these are little things that we want to get. But the biggest thing we want to deal with in terms of corruption is that was here enforcing the laws. Me, friend me say me a headmaster. I believe in enforcement.
So, where they enforce the laws?
Because say we are my brother.
Okay.
Now, what call here some corrupt act? Now you go to jail.
Maybe because you are not in position.
No, even my own brother knows that. Even my own father knows that. You go to jail straight.
Track record, say.
Jail no there. Remember visit you jail because I don't know it's my duty to you as your brother. So remember besrao. But you will go to jail.
And I make us be a only position in now kasa.
There be share. There may a fund manager Emma British company.
Okay.
Yeah, funds, Udi plan Biba, being free Ghana, being free different countries, over 20 countries in Africa.
Okay.
Obi Edi ni project proposals named by Ofri Ghana me can't no. Ofri Ghana and all the project proposals be by. And I feel say okay, project we know a bebwa Ghana fund funding and we funded it. Chief, 2 years down the line. Financial review and I say papa no ninsako kanska no. We flew down to Ghana and had that man prosecuted.
Serious?
Yes, I don't care whether he's a Ghanaian.
How many years ago?
This is about 15 years ago.
Which company?
I think it was International Alert or me getting into Crown Agency. I think it was 2010, around 2010 thereabout when I had started Crown Agency. So it doesn't matter whether you are Ghanaian. Oh, you're burning crap, you will be jailed. We've done this over and over again in different countries. You can't touch people's money. When I came back to Ghana about 5 years ago, thereabouts, one of the things I made here was, let me say, one of the British government organizations was giving money to some organizations here.
Okay.
And now who said me back and to a frame and I'm catching me so oh now yeah massacre to different organizations north or omo pamicho omo min kona min ko hwehwe mu say you know there na sika no use etisen and I went there and did an audit. Chief, you won't believe what we found. Money that has been given to YEM by other country taxpayers, no, people are using the money by hand. Wow. And I wrote my report indicting them. They came and I said, Master, begging and can't wait home. This is not begging. This is not begging. Wow. And I believe in order, I believe in discipline.
Okay.
If you mess up, you go to jail. Whatever the sika out of the corrupt act, we have to recover it back.
Mr. Gane, we have a very good point that you're raising, but may I sure say we are aware, on my way, we have one big challenge. And Nuntina Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, prior to his coming to government, I can say he's going to separate or create a different position away from the Attorney General's department. And you know, obey a special prosecutor office. Okay. So that at least we can try government officials as almost corrupt ways so at this and so many years down the line, so I'm asking you, how
that position was never necessary.
It wasn't.
No, even before
special prosecutor
it
position
was
is
never
not necessary,
senior, because every other department we have in this country that is related to law and order, no, they were enough. So yes,
No, the idea was that Attorney General, because we're part of government, a very difficult so be prosecutor on people.
No,
and so then I'll set an independent prosecutor.
There be now independent prosecutor no one an employee no. And you're the same government.
It's the same government.
And you're the same government and man
resources.
And you're the same government and man budget.
That's true.
And that one is not an issue.
But I don't see mean kind of because if you go to the US, even where you did fund management, is it in the UK?
Yes, it's
so
in the UK.
If you go to
Europe
the
generally,
fine.
Yeah.
So if you go to Europe, okay, the other sectors, including the Independent Electoral Commission, including the Labour, whichever government, fund one, government are appointed to be brief, and yet they are independent. So it's equally applicable here.
The corruption will come it's very political. Political and institutional related. It's become part of institution, but it was always political. Sure. We run your states to say running your parties. We say party, family. We are my party member, and mean to me, you be a party needing essay.
Okay.
So if you and I are in government, it means that so we are Bibina say I have to punish you. The first consideration is how would it party no you say even your party and we are prosecuting each other and I say party more corrupt. That is the real problem.
Okay.
As an independent candidate, also say I don't have any allegiance to any party elder. I don't have any allegiance to any party chairman.
Yeah.
Party chairman say me bana your friend will say umpacho fancy your friend say snit man bo be a deal.
Also example
I'm setting. So we don't have this problem. And so some of these problems we have are corruption. So in this country, we've seen people are more corrupt. They've done things that should get them in jail. They've actually been called back to come and sit in Flagstaff House.
Who?
Then
it means it's unfounded.
No, it's not founded. We are in this country. We've all seen it happen. I'm not going to mention it.
then it's unfounded.
But you see, well, you can take it as
we are talking about the president.
You see.
I'm sorry, you continue. Yekasafa presidency, the highest office of the land. And in the same way, and if we don't have evidence to that effect, I would suggest that we don't even go that trajectory. And yes, sir, I would advise you mention, who.
I'm not retracting my statement, but I will not mention any further. I wouldn't say anything further beyond that. That's all I'll say.
Anyway, let's there's a movie away from corruption. Education. Okay. What can be quite profound? The Ghana government believes, and this is page 14 on your manifesto.
Okay.
The Ghana government believes education is our weapon of mass elevation from poverty and deteriorating economic, social, and gender inequalities. This is quite profound. But my question is, obey day, anam and humosuya so, ye firu him, because fiti mere something ye shas ye suya sadie and so you go su him.
So yeah, the philosophy of learning or CN system. I didn't make all I was trying to say is yeah, education.
Okay.
Acquire theory dodo. I was seeing a movie from the theory no. Now you call education that is practical and that is competency based.
Okay.
Nyema mienu a me pesa me nkyerɛ say one, say can competency based that we want students to learn how to be efficient. And we don't want people to come out of school na ebeka say ono there or sha say or yejuma pe obesua how to do communication, obesua how to obesua things about e-commerce, obesua things about critical thinking, creative problem solving. You per se yenchre all these competency skills whilst they're in school. That's the first thing. We also want to start teaching young people about entrepreneurship whilst they're in school. Because you see, when you come out of school, you only have one choice. You have to get employed. If Obia and Frau say you feel so your life is over. And it must not be so.
That's true.
We want to bring young people to a position, say, if you come out of school, now say, you don't even get employment, you know, say, or more equip you with the skill set that will be to me, Asha said, to do something on your own. And so these are things that we have to change in our educational side. The other thing that we want to change largely is, so what kind of educational sector, we something about learning infrastructure.
I think
me accountant. Good, me accountant.
That is page 21.
Page 21.
Intervention, investment in learning infrastructure.
Good. I would share me who a friend say me call Madam Fobi ni site or engineer. Me call a site. They invited some young people who are just finished school to come as an internship. Chief, as an architect and as an engineer on site, one of the most basic thing a measure, distance measure. I'm saying you use tape, measure. You use laser.
All right.
Unya sope na a coffer, light no coffer na no one kasa a measure na a read it. These young people did not even know how to calibrate that measure. And this is a measure that is the most basic equipment you'll be using. So near you can say in some of this Master, you go school, but the thing
and I'm just
at the end of theory. And I make so we want to practicalize these things. I want to, for example, so you're an engineering student or whichever university you are in. I want there to be a spot on the campus or outside campus. At the beginning of your course as a building engineer, you know, so you are going to put up a building.
Mr. Gane, you are speaking because in Ghana we have engineers who cannot even make roads.
Okay. Okay.
We have engineers who cannot even make roads.
Because look, I have seen young engineers in other countries and the things they are capable of. I want my people to also be capable of that. And yes, our people, they don't have brains. Ghanaians are very smart people, but we are not helping them.
Okay.
We are not helping them. The same young students will go to a different university outside of this country and they will come back different. I didn't hear. Yes. They will be different. They will be able to deliver in the same manner as another young people in another country will.
Yeah.
I didn't hear. And so it is not about your teachers your students no, it's not about
and
that.
Mr. Gane, I didn't know you say it's taking leadership so long. Say you may be saying a bit me.
I can't answer for that. All I know is that I understand how the world works. My papa is an engineer. Okay. My father went to University of California. When I see him working with his fellow other engineers, or Nigeria, or Liberia, the difference is very clear. So it's about ensuring, say, an idea we are making now is not something that is far-fetched.
Okay.
Share, my example say I would love to see, say, students are on the site building, they know everything in the industry themselves. You see, there are also students who understand something about environment, all that. The same buildings are architecture and engineering for Besino. I would like the students in almost about sanitation in Yamaniama. They will break that building down and see how they can deal with it sanitationally. Until that one building will be serving many purposes. The following year, another group will come and raise it up again. Yes, it may be the same building or different spots, but they are learning how to get it done. And yes, I'm very free school now. I feel you have employers who will catch us, oh, for the 14 or 15 years you spent in the educational cycle, no, certificate and wow.
Oh.
And it's painful. I've interviewed hundreds of young people. It's painful when they sit in front of you on Mukasa. It's sad.
And just to even buttress your point, maybe by now, I'm a student. Now, you call university. Now, we chance into one lecture where now health. It was on anatomy. And
okay. Good.
Do you know? Say they were doing that on the blackboard.
Thank you.
University.
Thank you.
Anna, until we and Bisa SRC president say, bro, now what stopped the teacher from bringing the rabbit to the classroom? Now umpire rabbit, no, because this is the liver. You are showing liver on the blackboard.
I'm sure I did by me was sixth form. Now I call you practical.
Okay.
Biology. Yes, about as some can see liver.
Okay.
Ni lungs, ni
Ghana.
Ghana.
Okay.
That's secondary school.
Okay.
Once liver, ni lungs, almost similar. Almost texture, ni right. Unfortunately for us, no, yeah. Why Eddie SND no samples no send here. I mean say the formica liquid Eddie goes to preserve it. Unfortunately, I mean say you know ni amudi shemu no cover no year anti inframa eboso.
Okay.
And by the time it came, the samples were all hard.
Just imagine.
Then you know you had. Until your core exam room, first of all, you were supposed to identify a sample no, and then you write about it. Obi etro a friend say sweet potato because at the end you had.
It's not who you know what.
Yes.
This is serious, though.
Until there are things like this. I was lucky to be in a classroom with my first daughter.
Okay.
When we were in the UK. She was 5 years old then. Omu classroom no. The Ministry of Education had sent to every primary school, Nkosia, Kuko Nkosia, and they also gave them a hatchery, a box, light bulb, edition.
Maybe I asked a papa Nkosia.
Yes, and they were doing it's not an experiment. They almost about mammals, so almost birds. Omudi Nkosiano egu hatchery mu, and for 7 days, anopebi omu ko school home ko jina egg no mu hwe. They watched it until one day no egg no crack here and akoko bird no efrim.
Is agani? Yes, your mama sa young fan go
you can never teach her anything about mammal bird and answer bird in your manama it's not and you say a theory where we move fili at that age.
Into my educational sector now I very
we want
practical.
Educational system practical. Some young children in primary school apple. Okonya apple wa infa. Okonhu apple wa infa. A for apple. Now, when who apple that, the whole life he will probably not see an apple. Okay, who apple in fact? Now, Ghana ha apple ha.
Wakasem. Anyway, my young Shahanum, say now see for who the free SHS policy.
And you're free. SHS and you're free.
And you're free.
And you're free. who got Tom Motor Guinness is here no stamp was so and a tax over to ya. So who come be na say who drive here over to ya fewer tax. So that tax thing na use it at the year free SHS and you're free.
Nti where what you
that? I can say Ghana for the tier for the SHS and you're free. When I can say free. And you're free. The only thing I can say, I feel say, I feel say both your SHS need primary education in Yamanyama, I was seeing fact quality account. The quality is missing.
Okay.
Share on my research B, I think it was the American funded research B, I think 2 years ago. Muka said, primary school no. By the time they get to, by the time you get to 6 years no, there is a certain level of reading you have to be capable of. Ayeka says, only less than 25% of young Nkola who do 6 years no, can actually read. And so if you can't read, Chief, you have no access to education. It's not about the classrooms, CC, and answer L block, and answer D block. If you can't read, no, you have no access to education. Because of course, you're master, you have to learn how to read. So of course, your geography, you have to know how to read. And if at age 6, less than 25% of your primary schools are more than 6 years no can read that, then you're a problem. Your chance, we haven't solved that problem. We haven't even solved the problem at JSS and I call through SHS. I don't have a problem with SHS, but it's a foundational do call into SHS. No, we are not solving the problems at those foundations, and then we are not really solving a problem.
Okay. Problem back why you woman say, as a electrical gadget be a crack. You cry mobile phones, you cry young, you cry TV, you cry BBBR. Maybe the next Ghana government, say Ghana for ehunu sebi nimbia won sama waka me na omotomawa ye be ne den ye mpese ye be kra se ne mani bim to be den how will you use our education say ne be ye beti me create se ne mani
I am in the so bisa question so when you read this manifesto no who say bibi o
okay
menim say wako all these cocoa growing areas muda
menimbi ba men call ni na
who call any of these cocoa growing areas up to today 63 years later
okay
omudi cocoa no ebegu your friends shed be so and omudi sticks be the movie
your friend o dey also shed your friend cocoa apa mena na kura gusu yesisi ya
okay
me frusi no
okay
apa no gusu si fi ntem na o the way no opese yawo
Ghana ha you agricultural engineers
okay
you agricultural scientists now upa say for the last 63 years no yentumi and develop bibia it automatically yes it automatically dry the cocoa no and ebe movie echo back in the evening na anapano eba back to dry up and then move it back yentumi yes ade no
and unim say up to now kura me na gusu de dade na bokoko no
thank you
ya bra bi wo kwa mbabo ni nyina sana moyi mu
thank you what I want to get, in that document we can say every year there be year competition for all the universities. Let us tell the universities say you were 100 problems our Ghana has this year. Whichever one will be to me solving it. You be mausika to do further research in it and come out with a product or come out with a machine to make that problem go away. We have to start connecting your education to your problems you're facing.
Oh, what can I say, Mama?
And these things don't take much. Because our makers is here, they are people who have done research upon research upon research. I collected dust.
I tell viewers every day that we need solution-oriented courses.
Thank you.
And to identify the problems here, what's on my? We create more courses.
Thank you. I prefer, say, maybe to say GMPC. Instead of fasika at the commercial beauty pageant, sponsor beauty pageant, we prefer say ye disasika no. And answer instead say me fasika koto pajero emma ministers no. I prefer say be use sasika no. At the auto cars ama every university that is studying auto engineering. I catch the young people say break that car down in half a year, and the other half a year fix that car back. It is the only way they will understand auto engineering. These are not rockets and they are not difficult things to do until why are we not doing them? Not just say there are people who are saying say we are in charge of education and they don't really understand education. And help me because every economy that expands more, it has to do with other way. Governments to make Debia say import and export education and trade you. And your cocoa and say mobile phone trade education. Other way you import free China and I say Korea. The only reason why we are importing this and say we don't have the education that would allow us to produce it.
Correct.
So it's all about education. And so we can say education is a weapon of mass elevation. If we get our education right, no,
what will be the size of your government? You see,
I don't expect to have a government, a ministerial size of more than 50. No.
Put the 50 ministers pay. And the people Ghana, man.
Ghana is not a big country, my brother. Ghana is not a big country. Sure, London are almost GDP crap. Just London are almost GDP crap. So share Ghana, Diano.
London alone.
It's being GDP manned by one friends, one mayor. Huh? It was being manned by the current Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. He used to be the mayor of London. I'm Michelle Debia bicycle.
Boris Johnson?
Boris Johnson has been riding bicycle from since I knew him.
Prime Minister of UK?
The shadow minister of business, Chuka Umuna. Huh? Meaning in a war about 5 houses apart. Debia Michiano was train station of train Ekojuma. Debia Michiano was Sainsbury shop. Onwankasa of a ton in Yamanima. Debia Michiano ye ride bicycle in the same lane.
Na yen so yen panyin fo ehu am say.
Ghana na ye nkrofa akoye to say omu they are gods. We have made gods out of ordinary men.
We have made gods out of ordinary men.
And they say no more young to say they are gods and kasa. It's us who have made them like that. And I hate it with a passion. So we who are called to be servants of the people, we are called to say, we are the gods of the people.
I'll speak to this someday. What can someone manage pa na who minister be send work kumba. And so answer no be minister, maybe 1,000 Ghana no go account. Cross country cars you dey free and moko tamale no. And ye can inside. Pe V8 back to me ambulance is 2 or 3.
UK MP bimba akrom ha. You both food didn't. You call back on the flight no kasasa. Didn't here. Also no on until train Ekojuma. Obaha his colleagues who they give money to. Omo drive V8 ni V9 and I say whatever V whatever.
You no more besiano.
Yes.
We bicycle kwejuma or foot train. When na kwaje besiano. Kunkun.
Yes. We make gods out of ordinary men.
Anyway, say afei na o join ya ne owura Marek Kofi Gane ana ehwehwe nkomo also opa ye chew say yanto aba ma no na 2020 o me Ghana mampani me de wa convince me kora awie esense nsem o ka no yade a eto asum yade a eda ho a na ehome nti Marek Kofi Gane say ye ma na kwanya na 2020 omra emedi yenim so beka ni nyina awie na ne aka na eto aso no nso no sa na tie de a ene na me hu ne say oyobi a a very good person a man opportunity a ono nso betimi a lead me pacho ye de eno atwere ho no mo no me pese ye hwe bibi on infrastructure 1957 6th of March ana Ghana enya efa ho de ye PS say Malaysia Malaysia put I think August 1957 also near independence. Yeah. Singapore. 50 years ago, China could barely feed.
True.
And then you heard these countries are more and krum fe 21st century you Nima, you Fadama. You Russia. So na mkran patwa ye hu. E na be ya fa.
Infrastructure na dia da me ka say yembe ye infrastructure to say a chede to say politician call the camping and so promise chiefs now around say we need kroma mema me see lorry crime out yeah, we don't do infrastructure like that. Me no me free family are engineers, and to me account on authority say infrastructure no, it is about planning. In that document, we are going to make sure say every road and I say every. In fact, let me start with road. Every road be a base no. Star road no, I was saying satisfy 3 criteria. One, I was here making sure say Star road no ebe boa omo agriculture. Say road no boa nkrofo omo agriculture no, then we shouldn't be putting it up. Star road no, it has to ensure say ebe boa omo person omo tourism. Sakwan or say mboa omo logistics movie cargo ni nyama between here and Burkina and Cote d'Ivoire. And say ye bedma yes your roads no be satisfy 3 categories no, we will have the best roads in this country.
Okay. What raised the issues be policy interventions, taxation, raising money by government and decentralization. But my mention some two caught my eye. Traffic penalties on the spot.
Yes.
Our MTT unit of the Ghana Police will be equipped with special devices to ensure blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And remember where explaining and I was also kasafa pollution levies, congestion fees, holding fees, and in me pacho.
Okay.
Again, now person
pollution
Ghana
fees no. You said that
okay.
Because someone said the last 10 years no, one of the areas are in that specific health area, respiratory diseases.
Okay.
Just air you breathing very, very polluted.
Okay.
And the man respiratory disease. You crap your home because when you are inhaling sheda air begina check is the air I'm breathing air correct. Good. And the sheda air kase, one of the things we'll be doing is that so lorry. Nobody is stopping you from putting the lorry on the road. But we will charge those whose lorries are causing life, problems for other people. So that by and by we will start removing cars who are causing bad fumes on the road. Because we can't be paying for people's health when others are causing the problem and they are free to be causing. And only back on
penalties on the spot.
Penalties on the spot. Very simple. Per se, introducing devices here. The police chewer and I say MTTU a chewer. Automatically they will just read your number plate. I'm reading number plate no ebe to me afa from the DVLA. Now I'm who car details no ebe to me who say who insurance or valid roadworthiness and I say problem be will come. They can see all of that. On automatically the penalties will show. And yeah, Papa when charges now because say okay, would you negotiate or so 56 and I say 100 on the spot now prices beba on the spot your car will be impounded. When you you are free to take your car away.
It's a good policy, but there's one thing I'm going to say now so and I want you so we don't have a national data system. A connected one identity to several things to send you okay.
And they are okay
a woman. Okay, so you first over I was
actually going to come to that. So,
okay,
no. You can even trace where the person lives, where he works, his bank account, everything, until we know any problem. So a lot of the things are we are saying in there. No, it is all linked to the national database. Let me say a war in the area of institutional reforms.
Yeah, we want to be entrepreneurs, but we lack the funds. We lack the support. We lack the direction. The next Ghana government, again, now be entrepreneurs. One way per se was showing education because your boss, Professor Kwame Che, said when see education we are, and he's employing thousands of people with different companies. And entrepreneurs who here. What would be your policy plan for them?
I am a hugely pro-entrepreneur person. I believe say entrepreneur for more creative jobs. Okay. And so I have often said on other platforms that it's not in the business of government to try and be creating jobs. The business of government is to create an environment that entrepreneurs can function. Who share younger starting entrepreneurship, starters for example. One of the idea how there be a entrepreneurs near tax rebate in Yamanyama. Not just say they don't understand entrepreneurship. Share tax rebate no, it happens at the tail end. After your business has been successful, one make it profit. Then we can start talking about tax rebates. What entrepreneurs near here in the early stages of a business. Until we have said things like rates. Obi a course is here so called register the product. They charge the person who is a young entrepreneur the same price as they will charge an established business like Gihawk. It is wrong.
Until be our share, and you woman
same tax as to be over here in the early stages, to get their product registered, to get the standards, to give them a stamp. Those are the things that a bit warm.
Okay, I'll get back to you in a brief, but so I'm sure said there are some people either to ask questions or comment or suggest. Maybe I try ubetimi abasoba na wajumo fidie no ama okasa ho ayenyam amaye. First caller mpacho udini baby afrefre.
Good morning, my friend.
Mr. Yente woni kra kasa demai.
Good morning. Your friend is set. Mekasa fi ko for you.
Mpacho yetio.
Mr. Gane innovations in the manifesto is very good, and part of Ghana youth, supporting his campaign and other stuff. But other parties, so bad sabotage, not to make his dreams come true because they make money from the politics. And I can see he's a non-political person, and with that I support. And the same country is in Bible time, I want them to be in
okay, it's great. And also be supportive or the Bible better and you may be on my and this just to another laughing side, win an American. Who's all mobile coupon? Who's all mobile? Yeah. Meaning, see, bit me after win an American. Men are still. Up to now, intimi innovative machine beer. Yeah, because we had the cocoon in our koguma now.
Meanwhile,
I'm sorry before we can let's speak.
Sure, fair.
Yeah. Hello, next call. I'm Udin baby free.
Bajo, me free that very point.
Oh, free. Hello.
Yeah, Bajo.
Yeah, until you, Bajo Casa de Mai, why?
Okay, you're very prince. Now, me Casa Pita Akuma.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Mr. Gane and who about the politics. They say now, me now many or the politics never be all canon. I thought soon be but I think the meeting of Cassian Katrani said now committing about the lower grounds. Everything not be yet the campaign or why because I'm surprised about some more coming because a boy be but I talk my and I think they need the opinion for the now, they know it, but they refuse to come to the ground and tell us. But they will come and give us big promises, and they will go. So if Mr. Gane is Mr. Gane is if you have grounds here, because see the other this is my first time of even knowing. But meet me if you don't know, I don't know. So whatever grounds here. Not only amount of a year, I think Ghana will move further ahead. I want the policy to be.
Okay.
The American on sunny backgrounds, on platform.
All right.
On platform, on for on starting here, door to door, on chin because and now on the court stations. And now ultimately and put up the policy over there. And people will listen very well. It's the mechanism I mentioned be but so it's my kind of man because my dynamic in the power. If I'm going somewhere and I'm not meeting in the power.
Okay, yes, that's it. Thank you. Yes, that's it. But also to note to say we are in the COVID-19 era. And and nothing I answer your factory home so as a station say you don't be hanam so that from wherever you are no me this particular program will be repeated in the evening at 7. And to be BR or HCC and Ubiti catch will be so say at 7 on share the repeat version of the program. Helen, next call and Bacho Udini baby are free.
Papa Midi, if I.
Me bacho free.
Me katasi asifusu.
Me bacho yetio.
In fact, yeah, Papa no kasa papa. In fact, you go for insurance any sama okay. No question say o sa machine ti bi wa. Machine a etimi episi ebro. And kata boy baby, but eden yevu tete bina.
So you go to 12 bro.
O man enkwani. Ndiye say crying. So uncle glass.
Oh my country.
Na uncle say na ebe boy pa. But I don't think 2015 year back teachers for yen san car yen salary arrest but buy yen pa nya buy yen papa yen.
You listen to that? Also teachers omunyamu arrest 2015 coming. Okay. Hello, next call. I'm back to baby free. Hello. I think say line ajame. Yane ura Gane na train komo. Or say yantu no swaba na 2020. Omame Ghana mampeni. The policies ni be brihon mo dey good. I mean he has this is such a weathered and nice manifesto. So anyway, I don't know. Come up. Okay. Hello, next call. I'm back to baby free.
Okay, from Razak calling from Achimota.
Bacho mentio.
Please, I want to.
Hello.
Okay, please, I want to ask for Mary.
Me bacho mentini akano.
Please, bacho me say.
Your friend saying, "Oh, free."
Razak from Achimota.
Okay, mentio. Kasa.
Bacho, from Razak from Achimota.
Bacho kasa.
Achimota.
Me pacho you on air, Kasa, yetio. Oh yeah, sorry. Info before. Hello, next call. I'm pacho didn't be free. We are having, I think the line will be a person or basso, Montum of why will be a big remna also watch it. Do medini in the man dachi meeting Ednana Otu Dako. Your name Mary Kofi Gane and a Chinkomo, independent presidential experience. I'll see Yantono Swaba na Ome Ghana Mampeni. Hello. Hello. Okay, me pacho. I think say the line is jamming, but ubeti mi abamu hanmamai. Issues of agriculture. My research let me say I stand for correction, but every year be about $99.7 million. Ekra tomatoes every Burkina Faso.
Tomatoes need onions.
any onions. You send about $162 million ekra emo. Not cereals, so just a single of the cereals emo. So it tells me, say, we are feeding the economies of other countries to be strong. And when we need loans, the economies that we have fed, we go back for the interest and we get loans. How different will your government be? NASA can say you're about 236 billion Ghana cedis debt.
Right. One of the things that the person owns the agriculture, you were different policies, but three things quickly. One of them is you connect your industrial sector to your agri sector. And I'm the sort of machineries we import to help your agricultural sector. I will see we have to start building some of them here. Your places like Kokompe, you can't Kokompe. People think that Mr. Kokompe, Swami. You can't, fabrication work.
Kumasi
Swami. Swami Krapo, I say one of those fabrication, and this was a area more. These are already living industries that we have to help them. And so that's one of the areas that we want to help the agri sector. We want to also help agri and your commercial kakra because still after 63 years we are this smallholder farms nipa bako nipa mienu farms we have to start getting bigger than that. And one of the things that your government will ever encourage is commercial farming. If we can start going down the road of commercial farming, you were a big meal in this country. I bet to me, are refining as much rice as we want in this country. Unfortunately, they are not operating to full capacity. As we said, the big men are continuing to import rice into this country. And if we start going down the road of commercial farming, commercial mills already, we can be able to quickly solve the rice problem that we are talking about. Then we also want to encourage young people to get into commercial, for instance, plantation agriculture. And in that particular one, we want to gather young people in cooperatives. Okay. You form say 10 and some 20, and now you form as one cooperative land, which ebe discuss it with chiefs, custodians of the land. Give them some capital to start with. So give them with training and back them up with technical support to get them to start to build their own farms. Farms are able to me for as long as they live. I hand it back to Crampo. So we want, agriculture to be a lot more exciting for young people, and for them to be able to see, this is an economy that can even benefit themselves. Okay. Apart from all that, we do plan to have a national farm. We're state farm. We're looking at cotton, and this will be supported by our prison networks. Okay. Prisoners, no? I don't see why we should be feeding prisoners and they will just sit in prison.
Everyone might make mom papa just for the fun of it.
Good. We should put them to productive use. The good thing is that when they even come out, they would have learned a skill in agriculture.
Do you know, sir? And this is hypothetical, and as Mamenka says, these are mere allegations. But you bet me a we have a lot of prisoners, and most of our prisoners, prison. We charge them for criminal acts until we want to reform them in our prisons. But they go to the prisons to be more criminal.
To be more hardened.
So when they come out, they want to punish the state because of what we make them go through. Until now, can very, very good. Very, very good. You have babisi. So what can be on unemployment? Watching how you're going to create jobs. But how are you going to fund all these things?
There are as for funding, Medical Cancer, we've already been losing
the
billions of cedis in just corruption. And just by stopping corruption, we already have money in the pot. There were state institutions, and I say your friend, state companies, they are supposed to be making profit. There are about 123 of them. More than half of them are not making profits. And one of the things I am saying, we need to man those companies with competent people. People who we know said they have done the job before elsewhere and they are capable. So that some of these companies can begin turning out profits. Near Tosom, Adibakwa, we will be doing in the first 100 days of your office is to make sure we have an asset audit. The person auditing assets are war in the hands of this country. Because a bit more, they're in the hands of ordinary people. The state is paying for their maintenance in Yamanyama. We want to identify all these assets, and let's identify, say, a bit more, the state does not need them anymore. And so if they have to be sold off, they have to be sold off. A bit more, they are just sitting there gathering dust. Something has to be done with them. And all of these things are going to recover money back into the states. Near Tosu on the 4th place, we have an agenda to chase after any money that has been illegally taken out of the coffers of this country, and that is sitting in other countries. Nigeria, yebi. Rwanda, yebi. Nigeria, yebi. Let me say Kenya, yebi. We want to chase after monies that have left these countries and that are sitting elsewhere because they are the people's money. So there are various ways we want to go about ensuring, apart from the monies that we raise from taxes. I think Bakwa, we also want to do with taxation. I said earlier, we want a national ID system that connects all the institutions. Yes, and it would expand the economy. Okay. And things like tourism, things like the general economy will go well. So these are all things. If we start doing all these things, we have no doubt. The money to get things done will not be a problem.
Now, amendment in our constitution.
There are quite a number of them. My favorite one is the one, like I said, you know, as a president, you need to appoint 50.1%, 50 plus 1% of your ministers from parliament.
From parliament.
Because the constitution at the time it was written was for a soldier who wanted to become a democratic person, and so he needed to still have access to his own people. Even though they were still going to be in parliament. And we are now in a full-fledged democracy. So I don't know, I'll say we have to relook at it. And Adebako so is the indemnity for people. Yes, we have to look at all this. And
the last presidential candidate, Yannick Kasai, Busumuru, he also talked about the indemnity clause.
So you shouldn't be afraid of, you know, being jailed because you haven't done anything wrong. There's also a clause, Bill, in fact, one of the recommendations of the committee for the changing of the constitution, there was a clause there was a recommendation they put in there that I think is a bit boy. And it said the public sector, at a minimum of 30% of people employed in the public sector should be women. A bit more balance be, yes, a bit more balance be ebem. And there are all these things in the constitution. And we've outgrown the constitution.
You can put them who is this? Because my yard, you beat my man 40%.
I know it's a
or 50-50.
Why not? They are more than 50. They are 51% of the population.
And yet, they are less than 20%. That is when it comes to national positions. Yeah. Okay, maybe sorry, a message of peace. Just under 1 minute. I want you to look straight into the eyes of Ghanaians. Nama will message your speech.
Person me catch Ghana for say election in 2020 December no. We don't want any fighting. We don't want any commotion. Go there. It's not about any political party. It's about war Ghana and the fact that you perceive Ghana and coining and to go out there and vote for the future and the progress of Ghana, not any particular party. In that one say.
All right. We are so grateful that you could join us, and we pray that God Himself will support you.
Amen.
Like viewers may be kind, but they should also bear with you. Say because of COVID, we won't make to the grounds, and we've taken upon ourselves, so that they will be able to decipher from the wrong ones, the right people who can lead.
Yes, we are done.
God bless you. All right. So Marik Kofi Gane, independent presidential aspirant in the Komo, or say Montono Swaba 2020. He want to be president of Ghana. Medindi Nana Otudako.